E3S Explosion 2012, hosted by Blake and Kid Monster. I know that looks like a peace sign, but it's actually a butthole. Sony! The Wonder Book. Look how I spelled that. Like Wander the Book. And then I put Emma Watson because I want Emma Watson to virtually show up in my house. You know where you at. Okay. Anyways, hello guys and gals. Welcome back to another episode of E3 Ass Explosion 2012. If you didn't not watch my other videos, I'm bringing back this series. And you should probably watch them in order personally, but you do what you want. Anyways, following the Microsoft video, here is the Sony video. Here's my little flashcard. Derp, 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 derp. Okay. So here we go. So, for Sony, they opened up with their typical montage of PlayStation and Vita games. And quite frankly, I have to say, even though it was a long montage as always, it might be the best one they ever made. The music was pretty good. The stuff they showed was pretty good. All in all, you know, pretty good montage. Good way to open up, I suppose. But a little too long. I mean, can we cut it down to like 2 minutes, please? Anyways, then the guys behind Heavy Rain came out. Well, actually, first Jack Trennan came out. Did his whole, I'm Jack Trennan, I'm a really nice, genuine person, cool dude. You thought I was going to make fun of him. Asshole. You know, cool guy, Jack Trennan's the man. But then, then he was like, you know, talking about the success. And then it was like, yo, here's your dudes from Heavy Rain. And then they came out and they were like, you know, what happens after death? You know, all that kind of shit. And they're like, we got this actress, Ellen Page. And I was like, ah! And they were like, we're going to show you this game now. And then they turn the lights off and you see, like, they're in the office and the cops trying to get this girl who looks like Ellen Page to talk. And some weird shit happens with a coffee cup. And then you see explosions and all this. So basically, to sum it all up, it looks like Ellen Page's character is either going to have, like, some kind of imaginary friend or she's going to communicate with the spirit or something. And the spirit attacks. I am very intrigued to see how this game turns out. It's very theatrical, and I'm intrigued by that. I want to know more about it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Then they finally brought Jack came out again and talked about the Michael spot and how big that was, and then talked about how, you know, PlayStation All-Stars was coming and the crowd went like nuts for that. And then all the guys from Superbot came out and talked about that and demonstrated the game. And you know, it's cool and all. But, like, the thing with me is if this is going to be a big holiday title, and this is going to be like a Smash Brothers for Sony, you got to give them more than, I don't know what they gave them, 5 to 8 minutes. They got to get a little more than that. Quite frankly, the other thing that sucked was they played a trailer after the gameplay. And it was like, you know, cool, this looks sweet. And then they revealed 2 characters that were leaked prior. And the 2 characters were Big Daddy from BioShock, shockingly, and Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Now, here's the thing. They leaked them early. That's what kind of sucked about it. And the other thing was, not to be an entitled, spoiled piece of crap, but considering that this is your holiday game and this is going to sell probably good, don't you think that you should have announced at least 2 more characters? 4 sounds about right for an E3 show, not fucking 2 characters. Don't get me wrong, it's cool that Nathan's in. You know, all the Uncharted fans are crazy. And then for your third party, they threw Big Daddy in out of nowhere from BioShock. And he looks like a really cool addition, actually. But, I mean, it's like, come on, you know, you could have announced, like, even Sackboy or Snake or something crazy just out of the blue. And I know I'm not the only one who felt this way. They should have definitely did a little more with that. But also, the other big thing, before I forget, is the fact that the PlayStation All-Stars, due to popular request, is now coming to Vita. And it's pretty much coming like launch day. So awesome. And it's going to support cross-play and cross-save. That's fucking awesome. Really smart. They're going to make the monies. Well, then they showed that... Well, they didn't show this. They gave out a free 1-year subscription to PS Plus to the audience, which I thought was a really, really smart move. That was pretty cool on them to do that. They didn't have to, but it was kind of a baller move. Jack Trent's like, oh yeah, by the way, PS Plus for everybody. And it was like, yes! It was like an episode of Oprah. Just a manlier version of Oprah. And then after, like, leaks and rumors and whatever, they unveiled Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation for the Vita, which is going to star the first female assassin. She's a French half French, half African American, and it's during the same time period as Assassin's Creed 3, but has nothing to do with that storyline. I believe she runs into Connor, and they also said it's in New Orleans. You fight crocodiles. It's like a full experience. It looks awesome. Totally sold on it. Yeah. I'm going to get back to that in a little bit. But also they announced a white PS Vita with the 4 gigs card, and that's going to be a bundle. And it's also going to have crossplay with Assassin's Creed 3 to have extra content for the PS Vita game, like costumes or I think a tomahawk and like multiplayer characters and some other crap. So that's pretty cool that they're doing bundles and they're throwing extras at you for getting them both. And then, PlayStation went really hard on this whole early DLC thing because they know that, obviously Microsoft has them beat on that. So they went hard on that and, really went after Assassin's Creed 3, which I think was smart in the long run. And Assassin's Creed 3 was showing this gorgeous, beautiful freaking water scene where they're on the boat. Holy crap, man. Like, again, I was with a bunch of people, and we were just, like, dying at this scene. It was incredible. It was, I don't know, it was unlike a lot of things I've seen in games. Awesome scene. I'm definitely sold on it. I'm going to probably, without question, pick that up. And then they announced a PS3 bundle with that game, plus exclusive DLC with the bundle for the PlayStation. So that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, anybody who's, like, never had one, there you go. Get the game, get your DLC, good to go, I guess. Whatever, I mean, bundles are bundles. Then they showed off Far Cry 3, which was already shown. A lot of these, like, some of this stuff has been shown. Even, I think Microsoft had something that was shown. It's just how it is. There's Ubisoft and EA also, but I'm not going into those. And they showed, Far Cry 3, multiplayer. I know Far Cry 3 is, like, a lot of people are looking forward to it. I don't really know what to make of it, to be completely honest. The villain looks cool, the world looks nice, but I don't really know if I would, somebody like me would be into it. It's almost like too much of a realistic drug trip or something. It's like, I don't know what to make of it, to be completely honest with you guys. But hey, listen, to each their own, you like it, that's cool, man. And then this is where, like, I'm throwing my card down. This is like what I was making fun of on the, where is it? The Sony picture here. This is literally like what made me, like me, everybody, just go, what the fuck, okay? They literally went on for about anywhere like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20, I don't know, about this project that they came out with. So you all know about the iToy, they do all the iToy games. Well, they decided to get this brilliant idea to get a book and use the iToy and open the book and turn the pages and get into stories and play with the games and the books, the games in the books, something like that. Okay? Cool idea for kids. You're like, all right, it's kind of cute, whatever, dragons and shit. But then they're like, we signed J.K. Rowling, and we got this book that she's doing for us about fantasy and wizardry. It's like, all right. And then they just went on, and the guy just wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, and they just kept demonstrating it. And it was like, listen, you guys had all this, like, momentum from Assassin's Creed 3 and Far Cry, and it was like, what the hell just happened? You just sunk your ship, so to speak. It was like, stop, just stop. Like, we were like, please stop, and people were just making fun of it all over. It was like, oh, just stop fucking talking about the Wonder Book. And then, like, that's why I made Emma Watson in the thing. I'm like, all right, you know what, we're gonna get this book. I want Emma Watson to pop out, just show up in my living room. And, all that kind of good stuff. But, geez, man, I mean, it's like, what the hell? Why would you go on about that at E3? It's like, no. In any case, well, Sony did save themselves at the last minute, if you needed to know that. They showed off God of War Ascension, which was the prequel. Now, up until now, we had not seen enough of the single player. It was a lot of multiplayer that they were just implementing. But the single player was phenomenal. The graphics were great, of course. The gameplay was so smooth. Everything was so nice. Just killing things and ripping all the crap and animating and all that stuff was badass. And then he did this thing where he pulled out like a stone or something and it like re-elevated like broken bridges and shit. Like you almost went back in time with the device. It was so cool, man. And then at the end he fought like this big ass elephant guy and he was like, fuck you, and just like, chopped his brain out. I was like, yes. And then like there's like a Kraken in the ocean the entire time he's kind of taunting you, and then at the end, of course, he goes after the Kraken, fights him, and then jumps in, and then it ends. And everyone was like, "Yes, no!" Like it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. I've seen the God of War games in the past. I own a couple of them, and I haven't really indulged super hard into it, but it makes me want to get back into it. But man, dude, the colors are very vibrant in this one. I really liked it a lot. It just looked really nice, and yeah. Sweet. And then the last but not least game, which was easily like the best game they, like, in my opinion, could be the best game they showed. I mean, Assassin's Creed 3 was pretty amazing, the demo they showed, and God of War was great too. And you know, All Stars. The Last of Us, which is the big Naughty Dog exclusive game coming to PlayStation 3, which was essentially like, you know, from what we knew was the older guy and this young girl in a post-apocalyptic world with these like almost like mushroom ripped, I don't know, zombie-defied looking monster guys. They're not zombies, I think. And then there's people trying to survive. And your whole point of the game is like the story of those two and trying to survive. Dude, I don't think I've ever seen animations like these before. Like, just, and the world, like, it was moving so like fluently, and there was so much like wreckage and like, you know, like plants and stuff all over the building. Like, it just looked incredible. And like, there's parts where they're in buildings going after, you know, dirt, like pieces of crap and like cracking necks and stuff. But damn, dude, then there was like parts where they opened up a crafting system and he built like a Molotov and threw it, and it was like, oh man. But then the biggest highlight of the trailer was at the end where the guy was getting knocked, like getting trumped by people behind the corners of pipes and stuff. And then this one guy came, and then like, he was getting his ass kicked, and then the girl, I think her name's like Ellie or something, I don't remember, she takes the brick and throws it at the guy, like, out of nowhere. Like, the AI is, I guess, really good. And the guy just tackles the guy into the wall, takes his head and, like, bashes it into a table. Like, there was an animation in the game for, like, a table bash. It was incredible. Like, people were going apeshit for that. So that, hands down, like, those last games saved their asses, because that Wonder Book shit was bull. Now, here's my analysis on this, okay? They really stepped their shit up with the exclusives. Usually that's kind of what they're known for. And then they went a little hard on the DLC. Not as much as people want, but that's just what it was. And then, of course, yes, there's going to be the games that people already seen. Guess what? Every console does it. It's just how it is. It's whatever you like. But, man, let me tell you something. You know, for guys that are worried about they should be worried about the Vita sales. Okay, those sales are not doing good. They are not known for lowering prices. It takes them a while. But, man, dude, they need to focus on the Vita. There was not enough focus there. The only focus that they had on the Vita and any other console, any other titles for their console was on a montage. Okay, they wasted 20 minutes talking about a book when they could have talked about all the Vita stuff like Little Big Planet Vita, Sly 4, you know, for the Vita, Sly 4 on the console, Little Big Planet karting for the console. You know, they could have talked about these things. Ratchet & Clank HD Collection, the new Ratchet & Clank on PSN. They could have talked, you know, hint Infamous 3 or something, hint that Killzone thing that's rumored. They could have done something, but they didn't. They just like wasted time. And again, going back to the Vita, you would think it's like they gave up on it or something, but they didn't at the same time. I mean, come on, it's like you can't just announce like 2 games for it or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. It was freaking like so stupid of them to do that. That's why I say in my Microsoft video, Microsoft and Sony were pretty much at ends, like at even ends. But man, I mean, not for nothing, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just felt like Sony's stuff was just like a dot better, a little bit better, and that's not saying much. Like, you know, I try, you know, to respect everybody's stuff, but I just felt like Sony won by like I'm talking like half a dot here, folks. Half a dot. Otherwise, probably Microsoft would have took it or something. You know, hell, maybe Microsoft and them both won. But I'm going to have to, if I have to give it to one, it would probably be Sony. And I know people are like, well, that's because you own the system and derp, you don't understand Xbox. And like I said, I literally just say, I'm going to say it again. Microsoft was pretty much like the same, but like a dot on Sony's part, I think, was better. Just the way they showed their demos and stuff, and they had a lot more exclusives. But again, the both of them really, like they should have stepped their shit up. Now, if you think I sound angry now, wait until the next video, because I'm just gonna go nuts. Peace.